Hi, my name is Adrian Landon. I've been a metal sculptor for over 10 years now, and in 2019 I decided to build a giant mechanical Pegasus for Burning Man. I was offered a artist residency at the Buffalo Creek Art Center by Steve and Lana Hardy, and that's where I built it over the summer of 2019. About 7 years ago, I decided to make my first life-size mechanical horse. It was a very difficult undertaking. No one really understood what I was trying to do, and even like my father, who rides horses, told me he thought that it was too hard to represent a galloping horse. He suggested I do something more simple, like a trot. But I had to do the gallop because it's such a beautiful, epic movement, and I couldn't settle for less. And I actually started with a quick sketch while I was on the plane. Everything starts with sketches, basic sketches. I figured out to find the best slow motion video of a horse galloping, dissected it frame by frame, compare it with a horse's skeleton, and kind of map out the movement with all the joints of the skeleton and the limbs. Then somehow translate that into a metal sculpture with moving parts and sprockets and chains and little cranks. And I had no idea what I was doing in the beginning, and I had no background in engineering or mechanics. All I had was my experience with Legos as a kid. That's all I had, and my basic metalworking skills at the time. So it took me 2 years to figure everything out, to make a first prototype and scrap it and completely redesign it, making a second one, and finally having a working model. And all of my mechanical horses are kind of all based off of that same geometric system and proportions that I initially designed, including the Pegasus, because they all have the same slow motion gallop movement. Just that with the Pegasus I had to add the function of the wings flapping, and so with the help of engineer Tom West, we were able to simulate a flapping wing on a 3D CAD program, and then I had to completely design and re-engineer everything to fit that whole mechanism, and figure out all the different parts and bearings and shaft and the size of the shaft, and the torque requirements, and what size horsepower motor to use. We just things like that, and the Pegasus ran perfectly for the entire week of Burning Man, despite total whiteout dust storms and blasting sun and high winds. I grew up with my brother riding horses with my dad. He taught us everything that we know about horses, and I was very adamant about learning everything I could from him, because I knew it was a very rare privilege to be able to learn those things, especially from someone like him. He grew up in France riding horses. Big day, really big day in building Wings of Glory is when I first receive my 5,000 pound pallet of laser cut steel. This is a super exciting day. It's like maybe possibly the most exciting day ever. By far, craziest thing I've ever done. Of like being a kid when you're 10 years old and it's Christmas and you're unwrapping. I mean, for me it would be the most amazing Lego set, but this is like 1,000 times more exciting than that. So I unpack all these parts and I lay it all on the floor, and I start welding everything together. My mechanical sculptures are very technical, as you can see. They are very engineered, and I have to make instructions for myself on how to assemble everything, make sure I know what goes where, and the timing of assembling different pieces, and the order in which they get assembled. And that's the beginning of my 3 months that I had to physically build Wings of Glory. I would assemble it, one whole part, make the wheel spin, and it would rotate. And either it would rotate smoothly or it wouldn't, and it would be heartbreaking, and I'd get take a break and then get back to it and fix it. So a lot of challenges along the way of building it. It's an extremely difficult process, and there are a lot of challenges, and I tend to forget how difficult it really is. And all the problems that I run into, all the mistakes that I make in the design and overlook, but in the end it all worked out. It was the Burning Man event itself that inspired me to make the giant Mechanical Pegasus. And the last step was tweaking a few things and sculpting the body parts of the Pegasus. So we figured to use an old golf cart motor, which was like a 2 horsepower motor, and a BMW rear differential to rotate the movement 90 degrees to power the wings. My motives were simply to give everything I had to make the most amazing piece I could possibly make without expecting success in return or fame. The day eventually came where the crew assembled in Nevada, coming from New York, coming from France and Iceland and Denver, Colorado. It was amazing to pick them up and to welcome them to Reno and to immediately start them to get their hands dirty on working on the project. At night, we start to disassemble it, dismantle the wings, dismantle the legs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
You can catch this. Got it?
I got your back, man.
Yeah.
It's all over you guys, right? The day after they arrived, we started to pack up the Pegasus. It was not completely set up and tested at Buffalo Creek, but it was tested enough where I knew that it would work. And in the morning, all the rest, we brought the trailer around, removed the Pegasus from the base up in the air, placed it on the trailer, started to dismantle the base, and just pack up everything. Everything went extremely smoothly. I knew that I had my best friends from all over the world come helping me. We had the best crew ever. And then the next day, we set off for the playa.
Okay, next stop, Gerlach.
Gerlach. What is that Gerlach?
That's the town that has like 7 bars and no churches.
Oh, that's the place.
We arrived there at night, 1 week prior to the start of Burning Man, and we just went right through the gate. And there was not many people there.
The beauty of arriving early at Burning Man is that you not only get to be part of building the festival, you get to see this entire city bloom out of nothing in the desert, like a desert bloom.
We head to the Keyhole at Center Camp to start to set up the Pegasus.
Everything up here is new. I can't stand it, just must land it. Going back to old Yazoo.
Got the best spot. That's the man. This is the spot, guys.
It's some fella, give me yes.
Beyond there is the temple. Put like 4 of the legs there, 4 of the legs there.
It was an amazing team. When we met to pick up Pegasus and to transport out, he had assembled an amazing crew that was fun, lively, and hard work.
Lay it flat, lay it flat. There's no worries.
Going back to old Yazoo. Oh, take me back to old Yazoo. Everything up here is new.
If you haven't been to Burning Man, you don't realize how brutal and hot and dusty it is 24/7. And to try to work in that environment, and for a piece like Pegasus, I think from beginning to the end, they were out there probably 14 days living in those conditions. And there, what you bring is what you've got.
Like beans and rice, get your rice and beans. If you don't like
We asked them individually on the way out there about shade, and they said yes, yes. And then when we went to visit them in camp, they were laying underneath the trailer.
I'm broken hearted, gotta get started, going back to old Yazoo. Yazoo, Yazoo, Yazoo,
Do you have something to say?
Absolutely nothing. I'm bored. I want to dance right now.
And it's big and it's tall, and the bigger and the taller it gets very difficult to take something like that to the plate, assemble it, disassemble it, take it back down again, in those type of conditions, and still have a crew at the end of the whole event that is still loving the whole thing, you know.
And talking to each other.
So like when people drove past or rode past our camp, they were so surprised because we had the greatest art project there, but our camp was one of the shittiest camps. We had a hobo camp. Again, because we used all that material to help build the Pegasus, but the point is we didn't care about how luxurious our camp was. We just wanted to build the best project.
The wind is the only thing that will slow it down a bit.
I kind of feel like you should have put this under the sun. Right.
Yeah, let's just get all the bolts in first, and then you guys.
Alright. Well, just to get, yeah.
It was a lot of fun. There were really so many amazing moments of the crew just working together and just having a good time. This one here?
Okay, it's not too bad actually. Yeah, it's not too good. Well, why are you almost here? Push it up. Look. They don't have that, but
They don't have 1 inch?
they said they didn't have one inch.
Everyone monkey on down.
Should I go?
Yeah. Please.
Okay, but keep on talking.
But no one whined once, and
No.
we were impressed with that.
What do you have to say today?
Nothing. Don't talk review.
Say something. Have you have something to say today?
Mais let us work. Get the fuck out of here.
I gotta entertain myself.
Life is pretty good. Can't
What's up?
complain. No problems. Hopefully I won't die.
Okay. Cheers to not dying.
Woo! First one done.
Ouais, little bit more, but
So, everybody look. These guys, these middle pieces here, these middle pieces have to go outward. And for that I need to twist this shaft. And what that's going to do is it's going to make the wing open up a little bit. It's going to make the tip of the wing come out.
Ok, ça va lever le bout des ailes.
Yeah, slowly do it as I try to rotate this. It's tip top, mate.
tip top, mate.
Tip top ship shape.
Okay.
Picks people very well, works with people very well. He's one of the most kindest persons I've seen in the way he conducts and talks to other people.
shit, banging it.
This was definitely a life-changing experience in so many different ways. It was really such a pleasure to work with other people. I was really used to just working on my own, making sculpture on my own, and it was just so much fun to work with engineers and all kinds of people with different talents. I really could not have done this project on my own, and it was just so fun, so much fun. It was very emotional after so many months of intense hard work. Finally there, installed, said and done. We got the fire inspection passed the night that Burning Man started.
Nothing happened, just the atmosphere, the vibes, the violence grew up.
It's real big. Real big horse. It's impressively large object. Colorado bear. Got a lot of. Now that I have my top hat on and my hard hat off, kind of like switch gears, And yeah, we just did the whole project. It came together properly, without a hitch too. Without any problems. Just smooth the whole way. It's well engineered.
I think having a really good crew leader who isn't reactive, is really well put together, and an amazing group of people in a dope setting is what's allowed this to really take place.
So when I was a kid, I was really into Greek mythology and stuff like that. And I remember going to a museum and seeing an old Greek sculpture of a Pegasus, it was marble, and the legs were missing. And I remember being a child and being so overwhelmed seeing that. And I feel when I biked up here today and I saw the crane lowering the Pegasus onto the welded mount, it would kind of recall the same feeling.
Main ideas of Burning Man was no spectators, and you go and you bring something. It's bring something. Don't come if you're not bringing something. Do not do that. You don't buy a ticket and just ride the rides here. You need to share. You need to come to the table with something. And everybody does bring their own thing. If you build a sculpture, it's nice to go to that piano bar at night and get a cocktail and listen to someone play piano. So I dress up like a horse.
No, a pony.
A pony, horse. He's the driver I pull them around in the cart. I made myself a bridle.
And the one that it scares them a little bit, that's good. Maybe it's just bringing them a little bit closer to the edge and expanding their, hey, the ponies really didn't hurt me when it went by.
Particularly with this piece, people were very captured. Watching people looking at it, I feel like the Pegasus kind of captured their inner child, because they would just look at it and just stare at it and be kind of speechless.
Hey, good job! I saw you light it. Wow.
I didn't burn anybody.
You didn't burn anybody.
As an artist, that's a huge accomplishment to get that reaction from the people, and people came up to me in tears, thanking me for making it and bringing it out there, and it almost got to the point where it was annoying, and I would be talking to someone else, and someone would be compelled to interrupt the conversation just to thank me.
So Adrian and all you other artists out there, thank you, thank you, thank you. Middle class America is disappearing. There's not enough support for you guys. It's hard to make a living. It's hard to keep it going. And if you can't economically support your love and your gift, it's extremely difficult, right? And it's extremely difficult to keep doing it.
Burning Man is such a fresh and pure platform for artwork, and I've seen a lot of great projects out there, and of people just coming together and giving everything they have to make these projects come to life, just for them to manifest and to be there and to be seen by people. So really, thank you to Burning Man. And Burning Man is all about fire with the art, but it's also very interactive. And a big surprise to me was how interactive I made my piece, and it was so beautiful to watch people get so excited about the 8 buttons that were at the ends of the 8 points of the base. And people figured out that you have to press all 8 buttons at the same time to make the Pegasus run. So people would see that and figure it out and get really excited and try to bring people in and to press all 8 buttons at the same time.
Lambo, don't move!
I'm here at Burning Man right before the burn itself as a part of the amazing Wings of Glory project by Adrian Landon, the Pegasus, the flying Pegasus of fire.
you to John Deal. He showed up 5 days a week, driving an hour each way, and helped me finish all the final little details on this thing. He was up with me on a scissor lift in the sun. He had cancer and he did pass away. I really celebrate your life. So really an amazing guy. Thank you, John.
Σαν ένα γέρι